Is the rumor true? Is Matthew Stafford really retiring at the age of just 34? Well, the Rams player has the answer for that. In today's video, we'll talk all about that and look at who actually won the Matthew Stafford trade. So keep watching if you want to find out more about it. First up, let's look at the rumors.
Some injuries on the back end, some guys trying to get back and get healthy.
Pressure coming on third down.
One thing that we all know is that this year didn't really go that well for Matthew. His career didn't exactly go the way he had planned. He had planned to defend his Super Bowl title, but unfortunately, he got sidelined due to some injuries. Now, that really sucks, doesn't it? Well, he can't really do anything much about it, except for watching his team struggle without him as they get close to the finish line. This led many fans to speculate that he might actually be seriously considering retiring from the sport altogether. Although it's far-fetched, all rumors are, so we can't really say anything about that. Besides, we've seen players do this before, so it isn't completely unrealistic to believe this rumor. Come on, tell us in the comments below if you believe this rumor, and then further on in the video, we're going to tell you if it's all true or not. The 34-year-old football player has been on injured reserve because of some serious injuries he faced back on the 3rd of December. His neck was injured too. Fans thought that such a serious injury would be enough to convince him to retire, but some fans disagree. Next up, let's look at if there's any truth to any of it.
And Hill busted inside the 20 and the 10, and look at that! He hurdles his way into the end zone.
Sometimes, the rumors we hear about our favorite actors or stars turn out to be completely true. Other times, they turn out to be what they started as, just a rumor. But you have to agree with us when we say that whenever there's a rumor, there's always a hint of reality in there too. No rumor is ever truly baseless. It comes from somewhere, right? Except for the completely ridiculous ones. We mean, honestly, how do people even come up with them? Well, now it's time to finally answer the question you all have been dying to know the answer to. Is he really retiring? You know what? Why don't we answer in Matthew's own words, so there's no doubt left. That sounds pretty effective, right? Well, he was on his wife Kelly's podcast when he addressed these rumors. Following up, let's look at what he said.
As defensive coordinator, had been the defensive coordinator with the Giants the last 2 seasons.
On his wife's podcast, The Morning After with Kelly Stafford, Matthew spilled the beans about his retirement and addressed the rumors that have been going around ever since he went out of the public eye because of his injury. On the podcast, when his wife asked him if he was retiring, his answer was short but clear. He made sure to give a concise answer so there would be no more rumors or speculations coming from what he said. And we're thankful. Fans do tend to go a little wild with their theories, speculations, and rumors, as we all know. He made sure to avoid this. As soon as Kelly asked him if he was planning on retiring anytime soon, he said no without any hesitation. There was certainty in his answer that gave fans a sigh of relief. His wife, while asking him the question, mentioned how she already does know the answer to the question, but apparently no one really believes her if Matthew himself doesn't say it. So she asked the hot question on the podcast to clear everything up with the fans. Now, everyone knows that he won't be abandoning the game so soon at such a young age, and we're glad he's not letting his injuries hold him back. We bet he's going to return stronger than ever and be amazing on the football field, just like he always has been. Wouldn't you agree? Next up, will we see him again this season?
Under 5 to go first half. Handoff to Akers.
Well, if he isn't retiring, would we at least get to see him again this season? Now, that's a question we bet you've all had in your minds as soon as you guys found out he wasn't retiring. But sorry to disappoint you, that just won't be happening this season. We know, you guys miss his performance on the field, but there's a reason we think you all know why he won't be coming to play this season. The very obvious reason why he won't be appearing again this season is that the Rams, the team he plays for, have now been officially eliminated. Now, that's one of the biggest reasons, but another reason that we just can't ignore is the fact that he's still recovering from some injuries, especially one in his throwing elbow. He complained about pain in his throwing elbow a while ago, but he didn't talk much about it in 2022. There are some other injuries too that he has to completely heal from before he comes back. But we hope all this happens soon so we can have the absolute joy of watching him play again. Won't you all agree? He will be back soon enough. We know that he has a competitive spirit and doesn't like to sit around a lot. That's a sign that he's an incredible player. He signed a 4-year extension worth $160 million with the Rams this offseason. Not to mention that this extension carries an injury guarantee too, so we think he doesn't really have any reason to retire and many reasons to come back soon. What do you think? Let us know down in the comments section. Coming up next, let's talk about the Matthew Stafford trade. You guys remember the Matthew Stafford trade, right? The one that happened back in 2021? Well, for those of you who don't remember or don't know what went down, we'll refresh your memory. So what happened was that the Rams thought that the final piece they needed to solve the Super Bowl puzzle was a player that Detroit had. Now, they thought they needed this one player player to make it all the way, and they did all they could to get this player from the other team. And guess who the player was? Well, it's in the name of the trade, so you probably already know that it was Matthew Stafford. The Rams sent 2 first-round picks, one in 2022 and another in 2023, a third-round pick, and Jared Goff to Detroit in order to get Matthew to play for their team. So that was the trade. Now that you know what went down in the trade roughly, let's see which team benefited more from this trade. Following up, did the Rams win the trade? Now, this is a question all fans of the sport have been asking not only themselves, but each other too. It was a huge trade, so no wonder we're all wondering who benefited more from it. You know what we mean? So we're going to try and see, through the information we have from both teams, who actually did better after the trade. Well, for starters, one thing is clear. The Rams made a very smart decision when they decided to take in Matthew. He has done great for the team and made a legacy that's safe. He led the Rams to a 12-5 record in 2021 and wins in all 4 playoff games. Now, that was a good start for him playing with the Rams, and fans of the team were loving how things were going so far, and things turned out even better as time went on. In the Super Bowl, he did great wonders for the team too. He threw a good 3 touchdown passes in the Super Bowl. He would have been a great game MVP too, but unfortunately for fans and him, Cooper Kupp was selected for it instead of him. So all in all, it appeared that what the Rams saw in Matthew was all true, and it was a win-win situation for them. The team was doing great with him playing with them, but that's not all. There's more to the story. The Lions weren't at a great loss in this trade. Now, obviously, they saw something beneficial for their team in the trade too. Otherwise, they wouldn't have made the deal, right? Coming up next, what was in it for the Lions? Look at the facts. It's been just a year since the Lions traded Matthew, and they've been doing incredible too. They've already had their 2 first-round picks in the 2022 NFL Draft. Now that's a big win, no? Fans think that the Lions have traded Stafford for both his short and long-term replacements. Who, you might ask? Well, we'll tell you. The short-term replacement is Goff, and the long-term replacement for the quarterback is whoever the Lions take in April 2023. So they're not really at a loss. Although it seems like the Rams are having more success than the Lions in the first year of trade, the Lions are still getting something they wanted and think was worth the trade of Matthew Stafford. And not to mention, in light of recent events, with Matthew being out of the game because of his injuries, like we talked about earlier in the video, things seem much better for the Lions. If the season were to end today, Detroit would pick 4th and 14th overall on the board. And looking at how the rest of the season is looking for the Rams without their star player Matthew playing with them, that number 4 pick for the Lions could go as high as number 2. Finally, who really won the trade? Looking at how both the teams have been doing fairly well since the trade, it's hard to say who really got off with the better end of the deal. Some think it was the Rams, given their success recently, while others are convinced that, in the long term, the Lions are going to benefit more from this trade. Both the teams, the Lions and the Rams, got what they wanted from the trade, and it was a very sensible trade for both the teams. So technically, at the end of the day, it's a win-win situation for both the teams. Couldn't have asked for something better. That's all we have time for in today's video. Who do you think really won the trade? Let us know down in the comments. Don't forget to give this video a big thumbs up if you liked it, and subscribe for more. With all that said, as always, we'll see you in our next video. Bye now.
12 to the outside, he goes here. Cooper